What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 12 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Sea Lord Aislinn Immortal Empires campaign. Of course, Sea Lord Aislinn is currently not on the field, pretty much something that never happens to legendary lords because rather than being wounded, he had to be reset due to the bug with Alana here. Not much we can do about it though. He's already been off the board for, I want to say, 4-ish turns and some forced recruiting and all that, and will be off field for another 2 or 3 depending. So I guess we'll just have to wait and deal with everything without him. Keep in mind also that we're losing, I don't know, an extra like 3,000 gold per turn or something along those lines just because he has a fairly significant upkeep reduction in his army that we're not getting anything out of right now. But anyway, in terms of what we got to do this turn, we are going to take down Mathlann yet again. He is moved in foolishly close to us and we're certainly going to punish him for it. Likamoida, will we have enough? Okay, wait a minute. I just want to see, do we have enough? Yes, we do. Allegiance, I want to move Likamoida and then get her back, and in fact, we're going to move her down here this way. Maybe we can have her take... Oh, damn it, I moved Arathon. Oh, man, I was going to besiege Rakdo. Well, that's too late now, okay. Look at, damn it. Okay, Likamoida, you're going to go down here. We'll try to get you back. We can actually return the Lone Army and then get you back immediately if we wanted to. And this way... Yeah, see, the thing is, I don't know if next turn when she goes back that that Avalorn will be able to move her back for free. I don't want her losing movement range, but I guess we'll find out. Might as well test it out. I don't really actually care if these guys take Dracula Spire and all that, just, you know, sort of the principle of the thing. Anyway, I guess you can't do anything now because I screwed up, so you're just going to move forward and sit there until the next fight. Enna, you are nicely borrowed and you're going to go to Temple of Cain and attack it next turn, I guess. And then Troop Ferry awaits the return of Aislinn, but Saji here, who has Caradhrian's army, has to deliver a very big portion of this army to Arathon. Oh, although he can't do it until Aislinn comes back. Wait, actually he can, because I wanted to transfer Bird Taxi and the other Skycutters to the other army so as to give some Bolt Thrower Skycutters to Aislinn so that he has access to some artillery because, you know, the ability to knock down towers is a nice thing to have. Anyway, Troop Ferry, you... Do you want to stay in the Lad's Blessing? You know what, let's use in camp to get the bonus. And then we will have... I mean, these are Aislinn's guys, they'll be fine in terms of attacking. And do we want to use Lilith's Blessing on the attack? It gives us additional XP for spellcasters, and basically has no negatives to it. Yeah, why not? Alright, Malkath, you gonna run? He is gonna run. Why did you come here if you... Okay. Why did you bother, buddy? Oh, but this will draw us further from NAGGAROTH, I guess, so maybe he's... I mean, he doesn't seem like a very selfless guy, but it is his territory. Anyway... It's a decisive victory of low casualties. I guess the question is this actually worth fighting with this army? On the one hand, we get to see Caradhrian in action again against Mathlann. On the other hand, we have more elites at NAGGAROTH, but NAGGAROTH is also probably going to... Well, you know what? Let's fight this and maybe auto-resolve NAGGAROTH. I don't see the need to fight both of them, but Mathlann is a toughie himself, so he adds a fair bit of power to this force. Let's see how Caradhrian and the Phoenix Guard handle him then. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Let's see how we do against Mathlann this time. Frankly, I don't think we should have any kind of real problem, mostly because we have 2 armies to his 1, and he did run away, so the AI is aware of the advantage we have. Granted, a decent pile of units here are of the weaker variant, but at this end, especially the ships companies without Aislinn at the helm, as it were, but we have Phoenix Guard and the Oceanas, and a big old pile of Skycutters, which we're definitely going to take full advantage of. Nearly as many Skycutters here as in Arathon's army, at least like this with 2 armies. Well, let's see how they do. So we're going to push them forward while the rest of the army moves together, and we'll keep a decent air force to sort of escort escort them. Now, the problem with having this many sky cutters is they'll probably have a tendency to get in each other's way, so we do have to be a little bit careful. They do look really nice working together like this in a proper aerial fleet, though. And hopefully they'll keep us well entertained. It does look like the infantry blobs or mobs are starting to move towards our main army now, and Malekith himself on Black Dragonback is going to move towards the Sky Cutters. Now, we could move the Phoenixes and the Noble on Eagle towards him, but I think I'd like to see how much damage we can do from the Sky Cutters as they move away from him, and just by using their ranged attacks. Now, this is obviously only the Sky Cutters without the Bolt Throwers, so we're going to keep those near Malekith, while the Bolt Throwers and a little bit of support both against him and the rest of his army. He is a little bit too quick for my taste, so we're going to pop off that Mathlann Spite upgraded. We do have plenty of Mist Mages in this army now after all, so we can keep him slowed down as needed and, well, having a very difficult time to catch us. Alright, hasn't taken all that much damage as yet. Well, 25% is not bad or anything. It's just that the trees, unfortunately, are blocking plenty of our fire. Which I guess you can expect. This is some, this is some typical NAGGAROTH terrain from the appearance here. And we got a nice Dark Elven tower up there. It's a pretty big one, too. Anyway. Malekith still giving chase. The rest of his army is moving towards us, and a lone Manticore goes into rampage as it heads towards our line, being quickly pin-cushioned by the units of Lothern Sea Guard. Not being pin-cushioned by the Lothern Sky Cutters as they usually might be, but it wasn't needed for a lone Manticore. Malekith down to maybe 55% of his HP. We hit him with yet another Mathlann Spite to keep him too slow, and we could probably do this forever, but I think it's time to move in. So here come the Phoenixes and the Noble, and we'll simply move the Sky Cutters off to the side to sort of shoot Malekith in the flanks. Which should work out fairly well. The Noble does start taking damage immediately, but fortunately we do have Ladriel's Shroud upgraded so we can heal him fairly well. And I'm not super concerned about the Phoenixes either, frankly. We have all the advantages and oh, right. Oh, I guess Malekith was taking damage after all, because clearly we can see he's reached his healing cap already. So he was taking more damage from the Sky Cutters, leading him away than it looked. Anyway, down he goes once more with his dragon crashing to the ground below. The enemy main host is moving in as well. Dark Riders follow the Manticore to their destruction by themselves, but there's plenty more enemies where that came from. That said, the battle has effectively only just begun. But for us as well, as we haven't had to commit the rest of our troops. So here we go. Silvern Guard are going to lead in front of the units of Phoenix Guard simply because they have shields and will use them to absorb missile fire from the enemy. With the Phoenix Guard moving in behind them. The Mareworm will crash into the center of the enemy line, doing damage to blobs of enemies immediately, and we start laying down that support fire from those Sky Cutter Bolt Throwers. Alright, here come the Phoenixes as well as the Noble, the Flyers, getting ready to join the Mareworm. I'm going to drop a few bombs on the enemy, but rather than use all 10 or whatever it is, well, 20 between the two, we're just going to fly on in. And join everybody. Frankly, it looks like the battle won't last too much longer. The Sea Elemental has now joined the Mareworm in the center of the line. The Silvern Guard working together with the Phoenix Guard are overrunning their foes, and we'll take a few railgun blasts from that Medusa. I don't imagine we'll be taking all that many. Huh, what was that effect? That looked kind of neat. Well, regardless, there's another railgun blast, but it was the last blast of the battle, as with that, the enemy army shatters, and the battle is ours. Rather quickly, frankly, it took much, much longer to deal with Malekith than deal with his little force there, which, actually, fair enough, that kind of makes sense. Lovely. Oh, wow, our Skycutters actually nearly ran out of ammunition, though. Alright, there we go. No problem at all. No need to chase Malekith down either, as he himself got shot out of the sky, but the rest of his army will be destroyed because they ran the first time. And Saji now has the frenzy trait, that he didn't get to do a lot of fighting in this particular battle. Admittedly, not a lot of units did or had to. We are going to I mean, we're probably stuck here because we probably will be out of range of besieging NAGGAROTH, so we're probably going to need to heal up anyway, so we can just ransom captives. And just to double check, are we in fact out of range? Oh, actually, maybe we're not. Alright, Saji, I'm gonna have you besiege the place, and let's see what it's got in terms of defenders. I mean, look, it's got some good stuff, but like 1 unit of Blackguard, 1 unit of Executioners, and a few Shades aren't going to make enough of a difference. So, in that light, we are going to move on in. Mission successful, sort of battle for Troop Ferry. No. None of that, please. Nothing for Troop Ferry. And Troop Ferry, you're gonna go right here. Did I need to tech thief you? No, I did not. Okay, good job, Ruinous. Alrighty. Just praising myself a little. Auto-resolve, looking good to me. So, auto-resolve, yeah. No need to fight that. And we will establish a colony, bringing us down to 2 possible establishes. So, yes, establish colony. I assume there isn't a, let me just see here. There isn't a hero there. No, there isn't. So you're good to move. You are good to move. Okay, beautiful. Everything is fine. Damn you, Alana. Alrighty. Saji and Troop Ferry. Well, I guess we'll bring Aislinn back here. There are still a few territories we need to take, and I assume we'll want to build a, and we'll build another colony at at Grand, wherein we can build the Purified Convent of Sorcery, and unless I'm mistaken, Grand should have a gold mine, should it not? Maybe it doesn't show here, but I'm pretty sure it should. A Scroll of Stone with the Assault of Stone. Not a bad find. Not for you, Troop Ferry, but, you know. Saji has a Great Eagle. Don't know if he's going to keep that. There's also Harganeth here with 2 landmarks. Yeah, some good stuff. Anyway.
Can I offer assistance?
You definitely can't reach this? Okay, yeah, you can't. Alright, fair enough, game, fair enough. You advance slightly more forward. Actually, you know what? Before I forget, go here and trade with Saji real quick. These 2. Bird Taxi for the Skycutters with bolt throwers. Like so. And then a bunch of this stuff has to be delivered to Arathon, so his army will be, if not quite complete, very close to it. I'm also going to put the Signs of Mathlann in yet another army, the Spearman Buffing army, most likely. But anyway, wait, what do we have in terms of ally missions? Aloysa Head Reaper, sure, we'll go for Aloysa Head Reaper, and we're at 100 income or allegiance with these guys, but we do have to meet Malice Darkblade and his fleets, which are sailing to claim Karond Kar. Maybe we'll actually have to send Aislinn out that way. We've broken NAGGAROTH, and we may stop on by to have him duel Valkia, because I feel like that would be fun. But otherwise, maybe we should have Troop Ferry. Huh. I wonder, can she be replaced with a Dragon Ship Lord, or would a Dragon Ship Lord have to... I guess we'll see. Are we able to recruit lords? We are able to recruit lords at Outpost. Okay, that's good. I was worried about it not being a possibility, but if it is, we should be able to close the distance with Malice before he starts taking over the territories we worked for. Alright, looks good to me. What else we got here? Arthas does not need to recruit right now, but he will very, very soon. Tech Thief, you've landed. Let's... Oh, you're saving your skill points. Yeah, that's fine. Keep annoying Dakala. Good, and is that rank 10? It is indeed, so you can now have Focused Mind for Hero Success Chance and Max Out Steel Tech. Beautiful. Your chance to succeed is also quite high now, so the Tech Thievery will go on. Also, what's our hero capacity? Can we build any more Tech Thieves? We are at... Okay, we can't build them here. Mages, we are at 5 out of 10. Actually, we can probably get a couple more geniuses on field. We will probably start annoying these guys anyway, so NAGGAROTH, you're a good option. Now let's get you. I wish we were higher than level 2, but it is what it is. Alright, Genius. Again, that's research rate and hero success chance plus 25%. So yeah, Genius 1, and if we can get a Genius 2... what do we have here, by the way? Conductor and Protective. Oh, would you just give me Incendiary, please? Limber... Was that the only Genius? It looks like it is. I mean, I guess we don't necessarily have to do another Genius, but I feel like we should. The control, or the success chance alone is worth it, so. Tech Thief, like so. And we'll get you 1 point in Specialist, and you can join this other Tech Thief to do the Tech Thieving. Alright, I believe that's it. I think I did a Lore Master of Hoeth check. We don't need the Barracks of the Ten Realms here. Or do we? I guess it depends on where we will want to generate the Sisters of Avalorn army. You have the Sunlit Pavilion. Oh, wow, no. Although, I'm willing to bet that that's one of the things that made our income increase massively. to be fair. Also, this place will need to grow, so you're going to go into expedited colony. We'll delete you. We'll keep the marble. What? Oh, it's tier 5, alright. I'm almost tempted to keep the Celestial Forum just for the increase. Oh, wait, actually, I have an idea. A moment. We just got this. Aha! But by building it, it will enable us to get a few more trade agreements going. So what we could do is get the trade agreements and then cancel it. Mostly because I think that the loss in trade is detrimental right now. We will build those up later, but later is not now. Anyway, you, NAGGAROTH. Do we take your money? You know what? We've given you 1 million territories. Give us your money.
The end
useless
justifies the
freaking Elithanar. Anyway, Arguelon wants to trade as well. Ooh, Bowmen of Orion nearly want to trade. I would like to align with them as well if possible. Most of the Wood Elves, in fact. Alright, we'll go for a trade agreement with Arguelon. Yeah, alrighty. Frankly, I'm not sure that I need to take your money. And then we'll do Talaqua as well. We want to be friends with them and remain friends with them. And, oh, it's actually worth more to trade with the Cult of Sigmar. Alright, fine, fair enough. We'll do that then. Alright, looking good. And the Famished are still willing to trade. I'm just not so sure that they're going to stay alive as they are fighting the followers of Nagash. Talaqua's a better option. I'm almost tempted to keep that trade building and maybe even upgrade it. Maybe that might give us more trade agreements. Yeah. What's it costing us right now? Okay, the question is, can we actually build it here? The question's, it's the real problem, because regardless of the trade loss per turn, which is not insignificant, regardless of that, there is a limited space that we have. One will be taken up by the port, one will be taken up by the occupied Black Tower, and one will be taken up by the Sculptor's Workshop, meaning we have only 4 spaces to play with in this particular province, which is significantly less than every other one. 2 have to be the Noble Consulate and the Dragon Ship Berth. Oh, actually 3, because we pretty much always have to build the Phoenix King's Treasury, meaning... I mean, if we build no military structures whatsoever, we could just leave this one Celestial Forum here. Alright, fine. We will leave you. You bet, don't screw me on this. And then we'll upgrade you. And then we will delete you, unfortunately. And we'll have to use some other territory to recruit military stuff, I guess. It is what it is. Hag Grief, well, actually has the exact same problem where it has to take up a lot of slots. Alright, it's not like we necessarily need another army here. We'd probably be building one... I mean, we do want to take Granti Mingle, and I think one of our goals for the long victory is actually to wipe out Sartosa. So, yeah. We'll probably need to deal with that there. Anyway, looking good to me. So, I believe we're ready to end the turn. Skip. You know what? Screw it. Let's actually start recruiting those... Capable sailors are 1, 2, 3, 4 swords. Oh, they take them 1 turn to recruit? I was hoping that it would be 2, actually, funnily enough. Alright, so this puts us up to 15 out of 20, assuming that we want to keep the Moon Dragons and don't want to use Mereworms in here. I'll think about it. Fine with the Moon Dragons in theory. It might be nice to have something that can kill enemy artillery and such while the swordsmen all, you know, sort of wade into battle. Yeah, maybe. The other option would be to once again just give them Skycutters, but we gotta have some dragons, right? Anyway, this will put us at 15 out of 20, 16 once we count the Regiment of Renown, Blades of Hoeth, 17, 18 once we account for the additional Noble and additional Lore Master, because they're needed to buff stuff up, and then I guess we could either get 2 more Rangers or 2 more Ship's Company. I mean, we're not going to be using Rangers in any other army most likely, so let's do that and then do the Swords Masters. Yeah, something like that. So then we have the 5 of extremely strong Swordmaster units, and then the Garbage Rangers and the Garbage Ships Company, and then we'll see what heights we can take them, and see if they can survive. The only thing that tempts me in this army is to actually get a Mage rather than one of these units. And I will think about it. Specifically a Mage that can heal, because while the Lore Masters have the Life Bloom, or Earth Blood, they don't have Life Bloom as a passive. I'm just gonna hope that they'll be fine. What we could always do is also put more Lore Masters in and then keep buffing all of our units like that. Also, while we're at it, Conscientious and Dynamo are fine, but not what we're looking for. And here, I want to see the Lore Masters, Medic and Protected. Still no. Alright, don't worry, we'll get you. We'll get you eventually. Outpost available with who? Oh, Etain. I don't think we get any advantages out of building an outpost, right? It doesn't do anything It gives us a little bit of influence per turn, but it's not as useful. Actually, influence. Speaking of, let us go to Court Intrigue, and then let us go for not the Daughters of the Forest, but the Heralds of Ariel and ourselves, who are we really not at the top? Come on. We all know that Aislinn's always on top. Wait, wrong campaign. I know Slane, I should giggle for you. Anyway. I'll find him. I'll find him someday. How is this even ordered? What's our faction name? I don't even remember. Okay, wait. What is our faction name? Tempered and Storms. No, that's not it. High Elf Sea Patrol. Okay, so once again, Intrigue at Court. Oh, wait. Was I just looking at... Huh? It is at the top. Wait. I unselected you. Oh, okay. I guess I just missed it. Okay, shut up. I'm stupid. High Elf Sea Patrol and the... Oh, great. Now I've lost the Sisters of Twilight, Heralds of Ariel. There we go. Improve relations, improve relations, and improve relations. Okay, that took a bit. And we're going up to 46. Maybe one more. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because these guys are probably eventually going to attack the Daughters of the Forest, or possibly vice versa. And maybe by then we can have a military alliance with the Sisters of Twilight, at which point we'd have to choose between the defensive alliance of the Daughters of the Forest and the military alliance with the other elves. And I might take advantage of that just to grab Vol's Anvil, because, you know, it would be nice. It would be real nice. Anyway, I believe we're good, so skip. And end the turn. Did I forget anything? Well, if I did, it's too late now because I pressed the end turn. Also, let's see if Likamoida can move. And Kairos, you want peace now? Isn't that cute? Alright, your army is moving away, which by the looks of it means they don't have enough force to take the Fate Weaver's Crevasse back, which is great because then we don't have to move down there and deal with all of Teclis's problems again. What the heck is this? You're actually going to attack us? Okay, admittedly that is a lot of shades to contend with for our ship's companies, but this looks like a fun fight. Alright, especially since these guys aren't buffed in this army, they're just the garbage variant. Yes, alrighty. War Banner, yeah, I don't know, who cares? You, go.
The time has come to show our prowess once more. The day shall be ours.
Alrighty, here we go. Looks like this is going to be a pretty darn neat fight, other than the auto-resolve saying this is definitely in favor of the enemy, and I'm inclined to agree or disinclined to disagree, as you prefer, as obviously a majority of our army is made up of those ship's companies, and they are unbuffed both by Arathond and by, well, just generally speaking. So we shall see. Now, we will start the battle off with our Skycutters, laying down that little bit of support. Our Eagles also very lovely, but they don't have buffs in this army as yet, as Arathond is not high enough level to buff them of any significance, so we do have to be careful with them as well. We should try to give them some auras as well. I might do a Life Mage in this army. A Life Mage should probably go with the Sisters of Avalorn and Treekin, though. I'll think about it. Oh, well, yeah, Miss Mages can heal these guys, too. It's not just the heals that I was thinking of, however. It was the Shield of Thorns, which would be nice, because we're most likely going to use the Eagles to sort of absorb damage from the enemy army, because, well, the ship's company is going to have a very difficult time doing that. Anyway, still milling around with the Eagles and annoying the enemy, generally speaking, with our flyers, because we don't want to get the enemy targeting the ship's companies, which are currently hiding in the trees, waiting for the enemy to come a little bit closer, so that we could rush them. We do want to try to get all of the enemy shades into the melee, rather than allowing them to lay down that withering fire of theirs, especially as it is armor piercing, and almost all of it is armor piercing, in fact. very low base missile damage compared to the armor-piercing damage, so good for them, not so great for us. Anyway, we'll dodge the missile fire with the Eagles, but get ready to move on in. We're going to take up position with the Skycutters over on one flank to try to fire into this blob of shades with those bolt throwers, like... Okay, of course you start firing at the Scourge Runners. Admittedly, the Scourge Runners are threats, but, you know... Are you really just taking the wrong target every time? This is why you have to babysit all your troops. There's a big blob of enemies, of shades working together, and these guys will auto-target everything but the shades. Okay. Well, either way, Herathon will move down together with the Eagles, and we'll try to take on the sort of most threatening enemy units we have. The enemy Lords, Slaanishes, Harvesters, Doomfire Warlocks, and the Sisters of the Singing Doom, Witch Elves. The things that would tear through, like, all of our ship's companies without a problem. Anyway, at this point, we manually retarget our Skycutters and start going after the enemy Shades, while they attempt to run away from the ship's companies. They, I guess, don't realize that the Shades can probably fight on par with ship's companies in melee, but they are auto on skirmish, so if they keep running, they're not shooting, and that works decently well for us. Some of our Eagles have started to take damage, as well as Erathon, though he does have a healing potion, but they're doing their job here in absorbing the damage from the highest hitting units, or highest damaging units. This is not generally what we might want to be using the Eagles for, but until we have our Silver and Garden, until the Eagles are buffed up, it's kind of what we have to do. And it's keeping the rest of the army functional. Well, the duel between our Lord and theirs is probably going to go on for a while, but our Eagles will not be recoverable, or they will take a lot of damage, so we're going to close the distance with the ship's companies and start fighting the enemy Dread Spears and Witch Elves by hitting them in the back. Looks like the first of the enemy units of Shades are starting to have a pretty bad time against the Bolt Throwers from the Skycutters coming in, and we could always move the Skycutters into melee as well, should we desire to do so, but we want to soften up the Shades enough so that they can't take them on in melee. Plus, it's a use for our ship's companies, which have drawn the Shades out and are doing actually a pretty good job of now cutting them down. On the bright side, the Shades have very low armor themselves, so the non-armor piercing weapon strength of the ship's companies is still allowing them to do plenty of damage to them. Alright, and several of our Eagles are badly damaged now, but the Scions of Mathlann are moving to hunt down that Scourge Runner chariot with those devastating anti-large projectiles of theirs, and then afterwards to join the fray against the... There we go, down goes the last of the Scourge Runners. Join the fray against the remnants of the Doomfire Warlocks and the Witch Elves. Two of our units of ship's company have also peeled away here to join the fray against two more units of Shades who have been spending most of the battle running away, but again, that works for us. We have joined the fight here and there. Yeah, looks like the unit is losing. Yeah, well done. Alright, that works for us. And definitely works for us. Alright, ship's companies damaged, Eagles damaged. We're nearly out of ammunition on the Skycutters, but the enemy's numbers are starting to dwindle. Now that we've moved the Eagles out, however, both the Doomfire Warlocks and the Witch Elves will move towards the ship's companies, rapidly tearing them to shreds. And it looks like the first of these ship's companies is fleeing in terror. Erathon will move towards the Lord once again, who seems to have peeled away and moved towards the Scions of Mathlann, perhaps to help the Scourge Runner chariot remnants. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, quite impressed with what's your name here? Aloysa Head Reaper. Oh wow, 78 and 80. Wow, you are statted up. Good job. I wasn't expecting that. 135, 78, 80. Very solid. Alright, well, hopefully Erathon can deal with you. He's got his melee attack as well. We haven't put in any points into that line of his yet, so he doesn't have any enough melee attack, but he does have plenty of melee defense, and by the looks of it, Aloysa will break with about 10% of her HP remaining, and having reached her healing cap. Alright, there we go. With that, the battle is ours, with the enemy Lord fleeing, and the Sisters of the Singing Doom and the Doomfire Warlocks fleeing as well. The rest of the Shades go, and the battle is ours. Our ship's company, or not our ship's companies, our Lothran Skycutters at the end also ran out of ammunition and joined the fray against the Shades. A very nice fight, I gotta say. But Arathond always gets nice fights, so hardly surprising. Alright, and he's gonna make sure to bring down the enemy lord, I hope, assuming that we can catch the enemy lord. The eagle should be faster than the cold one by a pretty big margin. And we don't want to deal with this again. And oh, knocked out by a ballista bolt or a couple of... Okay, wow, okay, I didn't notice how many ballista bolts at the same time. Wow, what the heck? I thought that you fired one. Huh, interesting. Well, the cold one had a bad day, let's just say. Anyway, there we go. Alright, there we go. You know, I am genuinely shocked that all of the ship's companies survived, but luckily for us, the Shades, while decent in melee, are still going to struggle, especially with other types of support coming in. Our Eagles did okay, but here they were primarily used to absorb damage while the enemy blobbed up around them rather than dish out damage, whereas the Sky Cutters were working overtime. But 10,000, 12,000, all hovering between 10 and 12k damage, pretty solid for them. Arathond did eventually defeat the enemy lord, and well, okay, our Mistmage is level 1, so it doesn't have too much purpose here. But anyway, I still haven't decided fully whether I actually want the Mistmage in this army, so yeah, just because, you know, they can use eagles, which is my thinking, but, you know, I'll think about it. I'll continue thinking about it. Anyway, ransom captives versus heal. You know, we don't heal our eagles, and they're the ones that need healing, so just take the money again. Alright. I'm happy the enemy attacked there. That was a fun fight, I gotta say. Let's see if anybody else is willing to give us one. A patronage lost. Your lord has been unseated. Actually, no, that was Likamoida, who doesn't belong to us, so yeah. Anyway, speaking of, and Stankia is moving here. It looks like she's going to take Drekla Spire, then we'll just have to leave her to it to continue moving up northward, unless she sacks it. I guess we'll figure it out. Request army. Oh, and you lose all your movement range. I should have just... Yeah, okay. She didn't move, but she does lose her movement range, which is interesting because in this turn they should have movement range, should they not? Enemy killed in battle, creator, technology research, shield breaker missiles for Lothern Sky Cutters, and a little bit of extra damage. Invocation of Vol is back, very nice. Let's Vol it up immediately. Alright, what do we have here? Another Sapphire Guardian Phoenix, a Staff of Solidarity. It's a nice miscast-based chance, but it's not anything crazy. We've got... Blessed Tome. If hit points are greater than 50%, everybody around gets Cannot Die and Expert Charge Defense. Actually, a couple of these with the ship's companies might be quite nice. I'm gonna say take the Blessed Tome there. Yes. At least it'll keep them a little alive for a little bit of a while. Another Blade of Seagold might also be nice in a ranged focused army now that I think about it. But then we'd have to, well, we'd have to have a hero to use it, so we'd have to give it to a Handmaiden. Missile block chance reduction is nice. And combined with the Lothern Sky Cutter Missile Breaker, it would just cripple enemy shielding. You know what? I'm going to take another Blade of Seagold. Tempting as this is, Expert Charge Defense is also really tempting, but the effect range here is really small, though granted this only would affect one unit. Yeah, but one unit is not that much. Yeah, you know what, screw, get a bust down. Alright, I wonder if there's any tech that will reduce the time it takes for us to get another, to get the Invocation of Vol up and running. Would be nice. But anyway, let's see what we got here. Hero crew rank for Mistmages on Elven Colony availability. +1 income from post-battle loot is nice. We are quite reliant on that right now still, and probably will be for a while. What about stuff here? What? Oh. Huh. The Citadel... Wait, what? Specialist Training Hall, oh, is a regular military structure? I thought we still had one. Wait, what? How's that possible? Oh, we do, but again, it's an Aislinn's ship. Bloody jerk. Frickin'. Okay. Anything else here? Tradable resources produced. Armor and melee defense for Sky Cutters, and just generally chariots is not so bad. Again, all this stuff takes one turn, which is great, but we are down to one turn for this stuff as well. We could get Devastating Flanker for Lion Chariots, Unit Mass for Sky Cutters, but that's nothing crazy. So those are not the Not the biggest of issues. A recruit rank for lords and heroes. That's nice, especially for tech. Oh, we got action success chance increase. I gotta go with that. I gotta go with action success chance. It's still pretty critical for us to research all the texts that we can, you know? Speaking of, you cannot reach the Great Arena, be one turn. You know what, go out to Harkaldra, and you go to the Chill Road. Max out everybody's hero success chance, and then we will have permanent tech steelies up and... Oh, hello. And I was just saying I'm gonna send Aislinn to deal with this. Oh, good lord, Malice. He coming. He's gonna be here sooner rather than later. Do we send Saji to deal with him? Okay, when's Aislinn coming in? Next turn, is it? Yeah, it's next turn. But then somebody has to deal with this, and who but Aislinn can take on 3 armies at once? Saji needs to deliver troops to Arathon, which means I guess we... Okay, wait. Okay, so you, take Temple of Cain and give it to... wait, who are we giving this to? Aetain, was it? Yeah, it's Aetain, alright. Alright, so you're gonna give this to Aetain real quick, auto-resolve. Yes, good. And establish outpost Aetain. Establish outpost. Good. Next, you can still move, but what we really want to do is move Arathon in here, in march stance, and then trade with Saji. We might have to send Saji this way. I'd even have to build another army to head them off, but it's not like we have any build capabilities right now, at least not really. So yeah, Saji, go here. You're going to give Arathon his Silverin Guard, and the other Sky Cutters, like so. Alright, and you are... Okay, just take his ship's companies and the Scions of Mathlann. There we go. So now Arathon is up to 19 out of 20. Oh, he's gonna want a couple nobles on eagles, though. Huh, maybe I went a little bit too hard on the Sky Cutters. I might remove 2 later on, but obviously not these ones.
Master of sea and sky.
And we will need a mage, an ideally eagle riding mage. I will continue considering it. Also, get to walk between the worlds, and wait, actually, no. Wait. We need Mistress of the Deeps, so we need to get there as fast as possible. Alright, Ladriel's Shroud needs to be able to be overcast. I do like the missile resistance offered by the passive. Let's get Flensing Har into evasion, and then we'll get Mistress of the Deeps afterwards. Help hold the defensive line with the Silverin Guard. Arathon, I would like you to level up a teensy bit. You specifically will want to get Eagle buffs, which is Silver Torrent, and Immovable Force, which is Silverin Guard. And, favorable winds is also for Sky Cutters. Alright, fine, fair enough. Stand your ground and favorable winds, and then I guess we'll also want to double up on the Sky Cutter stuff, so... Oh, that's why I started putting points into Vanguard Master. Good. Do we have any good nobles? Oh, wait, can we even generate nobles out of you? No. Yeah, we do have another genius, though. More Tech Thievery. 1. We're at 6 out of 10 on the mages. I can always delete them after all. Okay, if we don't get the type of fire mage that I want soon, I'm just going to give up and just get whatever. All right, let's get the genius one. Recruit, and you will go specialist, and you will also be a tech thief. Good. All right, completing all the techs will be real nice. Would be real. You know what? Actually, do obligations of nobility, and then we should be able to do this one in one turn as long as we do one of these immediately after. So yeah, let's do that. Alrighty, Armandus. How are we doing down here? You were supposed to go after Ragnar, assuming that Melwyn... Did you get a full stack here? You were having such a difficult time chasing this guy down. Alright, well, you did a good job. Armandus, go here. I don't know where this guy's gonna run, but wherever it is, he's gonna be in trouble. Either these guys catch him or he goes out to sea and we catch him either way. Eladan, the Mage of Beasts. I believe you were supposed to... Oh, another army. Foretold? I kind of like the name of this army. Can Demon's Gate defend itself now? Maybe. A little bit concerning, but either way, you are going to encamp. You know what? Actually, go into ambush. And then go towards Grautrolex's lighthouse, but to the point that the enemy doesn't know that you're there. I'd like Foretold to stay at sea so that we can then have Armandus kill him rather than Salindor, because Salindor has fought 1,000,000 Tzeentchians by now, whereas Armandus is, you know, not. Speaking of Armandus, you need a hero. Okay, as soon as we're there. Anyway, Troop Ferry. I guess we shouldn't attack these guys immediately. I'm a little bit concerned of taking... How many territories do you have? 5, eh? I guess we could just sack Rakdo Gorge and Alder... Wait. Dracula Spire is part of Eldar Spire and Altar of Ultimate Darkness, but Harkaldra is part of Naggaroth and Rakdo Gorge is part of Naggaroth. Or, no, Rakdo Gorge is part of Iron Mountains. Alright, so we'll need to take those two anyway. Alright, fine. Troop Ferry, you're gonna go here. I'm actually... I guess we can get Aislinn back here. I have to use Steel Tech for a turn. Alright, go here.
Led by the winds.
I'm going to assume you'll be able to reach it. And Naggaroth, we're gonna need to build stuff. The Noble Consulate has to be prioritized because it gives us all of our control. And then it's a question of a little bit of money versus the Dragon Ship Berth, which is Dragon Ship supplies, which is very nice, especially as we're about to get 2 more Dragon Ships on field. Although I guess we can wait until we can get Highborn Champions, just to get them slightly more leveled. It's not anything crazy, but... nonetheless. Also, dedication. You know what? Let's save up 500 1,000 dedication? How much is it? 1,000 dedication, and then grab either Teclis's champions to buff up our Swordsmasters, or Elite the Nars champions and buff up our Shadow Warriors. Gotta do that because an extra turn isn't going to make too much of a difference with regards to the dedication loss, so yeah, that's fine. You know what? I guess build the Silversmith Hall then. Eventually we'll have 50 control or more, shouldn't be a problem at all. Alright, anyway. Well, actually, we'll deal with all the building in a second, but let's move everybody else around. You can channel, but stay in our territory so that you can hit Harkaldra and transfer it. I assume if we leave Altar of Ultimate Darkness, we will still want to sack it, especially if you are going up to Dracula Spire. These guys are really taking a lot of territory up here. If we were another faction than Aislinn's, I think we'd care about it a lot more, but, you know. And just the border gore is bothersome, but, well, that's border gore for you. Alrighty, what else do we have here? And yada yada yada, let's do building. What do we have here? Black Flood, yes, more upgrades for the Mines of Hag Grief, more trading, more goodies. I'm almost tempted to build another one of the trading structures here, but, yeah, we are losing a fair bit to Elven colonies now, so let's be careful there. What are we missing in Hag Grief? We do have the Dragon Ship Berth, and I think that's what we're gonna do, Dragon Ship Berth. Alright, Temple of Cain, and the other thing. Neither one of you are coastal settlements, but both of you are in a place where there's a colony, meaning we can build the provincial cartways. And then you can do this. Alright, looks good. That's that place, and I believe we're good with the others, yes? At least here. Alright, now these. Alright, we'll start from the bottom. Wait, actually, let's reorder it. Just in case the order was off. Alrighty, so, keep building you up, if I can click you. Like so, and like so. Iron Mountains, keep building you up similarly. And Rakdo Gorge will not have a colony, so you're fine as you are. Eataine, you're fine. And I think, or I assume all the others are fine. Just looking for the ones that need to be converted. I wish there was an easier way. I wish that you could lock in to automatically, you know, convert to the other thing, or like, you know, like queue it up. Would be nice. Anyway, any new trade agreements come available? Not yet. We'll keep on taking a look at them. Non-aggression pact with Talzin, sure. I don't necessarily want to pay you 700 gold, but, you know, we will be using you for trade agreements later. And you guys are friendly now. Or you should be. Yeah. And, what? You don't like us? Broken treaties with High Elf Sea Patrol. Okay, well, non-aggressive. They're the ones at 2,000 gold. No. Never mind, I'm not giving you 2,000 gold. Our relationship is still rising, so it should fix itself. I guess we could... You know what, let's go... I mean, again, we have a ton of influence to use if we should want it. Last Defenders and improve relations. There you go. Alrighty, what else do we potentially have? Oh, you know what we could do? We could do some names. The Eagles have had a proper debut now, and Darathon has his full army, so we might as well name them up. So, we're going to start with Thorondor. Like so. We're going to continue with Eagly. And I guess the single entity works now, because in SFO there are multiple units. Arathon's Claws. And lastly... the Word. Actually, I don't like the... not a big fan of the capitals. The Word. Alright, there we go. And... do we want to name the Skycutter as well? I don't know if we're going to keep them in this particular army. We will keep the Silver and Guard. Let's have at least one. Silver Talon Guard. Actually, when in my previous campaign, I was musing with the idea of calling all, like when Arathon's original campaign and Emmeric's campaign, where he made his debut, we had been musing with the idea of calling all of his Silver and Guard Talon Guard, but with with one word rather than two. But anyway, still thinking about it. Now, what else do we name? Oh, you know what? We have a lot of Sea Guard names available, and we do have a fair amount of Sea Guard in, well, our, seagoing armies, which does make sense. Let's name some of these guys. Alrighty, you're not named, are you? You are not. Oh, we can name some of the lions, too. Okay, War Lions. Let's go Sea Lions. Makes the most sense right now. And then let's do a couple of these guys. Teleri Guard. I think we named all the Sea Guard in Aislinn's army. The title Wardens. And Swanboat Mariners. There we go. Alrighty, good enough for now? I'm gonna say good enough for now. Anything else we need to do? Oh, hero check. Always need the hero check until we get the nobles and the lore masters we need. Exhilarate. Huh. There's one that buffs phoenixes and gives them melee defense plus 12. I know that. I find that we might want this for our Phoenix army. Wait, there is another Phoenix buffing trait, but it isn't this one. There's another one. Is there not? Well, either way, I guess we're going to need some of these guys in that army. But we don't necessarily need to generate you here because Aislinn will come back next turn and we can generate them there. Noble, we got still Dynamo and still Conscientious, so nothing crazy. And double checking for more geniuses and someday an incendiary one of these guys. Limber. Yeah, okay, alright. And we moved all the heroes, so I believe that's another intern. Alright, skip, and... Yo. You're basically ready to go. More or less ready to go at any rate. I guess next turn... Oh, maybe we'll have you hunt down Malefic's Trolltooth here. And then I guess we're going to send you off to Citadel of Dusk. And we pick up a few islands on the way. We do have to pick that up, as well as Turtle Isle, and... maybe Star Tower will fall. I don't know about, betraying these guys and attacking them, but it's a possibility at some point. Anyway, let's end the turn. And we got NAGGAROTH, and Mother Ostankia, which one? Military Alliance. I'm gonna say no. I will think about it. Again, if she attacks... we could do military alliance with both her and the Wood Elves and then see who attacks who. Because either way, we betray Ostankia to take the Vols, and, well, then we can peace out with her and then fix their relationship, potentially. We could even start by lowering their relationship if we want to screw around with the intrigue at court a little bit more. I just feel like we keep getting the currency for influence, and I want to use it on something, Anyway, a Rite of Awakening performed, faction destroyed, Ironbrow's expedition. Good job, Krogar. He was fighting them. Ready for duty, Aislinn back at last. At long, long last. The appointed time has passed. Consult leaders available. Alright, so, first of all, technologies. We want to get Highborn Champions and Hierarchical Maneuver. But to do that, we will waste the turn. Or wait, okay, let's get Aislinn up and running first. I assume we take Troop Ferry to Karhaldra and then transfer the troops. Assuming that we can get Aislinn. Ooh, Valkia's moving this way now too. Oh, what if she goes for Naggaroth? I kind of don't like that. Well, I guess you can't reach it in one turn anyway. I hope. Alright, you go to the Chill Road. A 77 success chance, huh? I wonder if Valkia's presence reduces the success chance in the place. At least you succeeded either way. And then you succeeded either way. Good.
Your word is my command.
Double upon specialist, and you can specialize as well. As one does. And then you can do the same thing at Harkaldra. Lovely. Alright, now I assume Ostankia has indeed taken... she's moved away from Rothgar's Spire. Hey, alright. That means Likamoida, I got a job for you. Go up here. Keep in march stance. I want to make sure that you can definitely reach the place in one go. We can't leave these guys to this because, the AI has a tendency to be programmed not to do anything. We go in camp stance. I'm going to hope that we can still reach Rakto Gorge next turn. Saji. Okay, wait, you know what? Enna, how about this? We'll move you in march stance just ahead of Arathon towards Rakto. Saji. This is troublesome. They'll probably take one turn to land. We could... Okay, what do we have in terms of global recruit? Okay, wait, one thing at a time, Ruinous. Come on, man. Alright, you start by going to Harkaldra. I assume that you can't be replaced by Aislinn. I'm not 100% sure, but I assume you can't. And do a quick little auto-resolve here, again with Eataine. Auto-resolve. Scroll of Leeching. Establish Outpost. Eataine. Yes. Maybe I should have sacked it for money, but too late. Alright, and to take out the Scroll of Leeching. Then we will build Aislinn. Protector of the Sea, like so. Recruit army. Then you, Troop Ferry, will march dance and transfer...
We shall continue after resupplying.
Okay, is there a reason why? Okay, I got so worried. the item thing was in the way. I got freaked out that she couldn't transfer to him again. He was broken again. Anyway, Troop Fairy, you did good. You can reset your skill points now. We will call upon you again to ferry troops. Then Aislinn, we need to skill point you up again. Alright, so you already had everything, so I'm not reading everything again because there is no need to do it. Give no quarter, obviously mentor, dedicated to Mathlann and Herald of Mathlann. Then, and I'm gonna have to remember what I actually did here. Sword player, inspiring presence are obvious. Definitely Blade Master and hard to hit, and I'm pretty sure I would have taken Scarred Vet, but let's double check. Definitely Blade Shield out of these, Wound Maker into Quicksilver Strike. Then... we need Militia Master for the ship's company in here. We need Master Strategist for the water guys. We need Bowmaster for the Sea Guard. And I believe I didn't do Vanguard Master for the little bit of extra melee damage on these guys. I swear I had 3 lines here, did I not? Oh. The Vanguard Master has select one eye. It's only for 1 unit though. He's gonna be strong regardless of that buff. It might not be necessary. Alright, let's keep these 3 for now. We'll go for Rally in 2. Heart of the Flame is not necessary. Silver Torrent is. Unfavorable Winds is. And Immovable Force is. Stand your ground. Alright, we then have 10 points to play around with. Assuming that we continue ignoring the blue line, we should still be able to get Speed of Asurian, which is nice to have. We want Ward of Loic, of course, because of the missile resistance. We want Scarred Vet. I do like Expeditious Endeavor, I gotta say. Do we want Valor of Ages? We got 5 points to play around with. 1, 2, 3, 4... Well, we don't really need the 15 armor. It's not as good as 15 speed, though. Gotta go with the speed. Alright, and then we have 3 points to play around with. So it's either armor or Valor of Ages. Hitting hard and a little bit of spell resistance. Oh, no, actually, no, we got 2 points to play around with. Because I assume we'll still want Root Marcher. It's only 5% though. You know what, I'm gonna think about it. For a turn or two. I want to see how far Aislinn travels. Not at sea. Because if the sail here, if we max it out, in fact, actually, while we're here, let's do some building. In this particular army, rather than the minus 30% upkeep reduction, we'll want Ordnance Cache because it gives us the reload time reduction. We could upgrade these. We do have the spare dragon ship supplies if we want them, but oh, we haven't unlocked the sail thing. Oh, also the like I said, trying to do one thing at a time, but failing miserably. Asur Domination, then consult leaders. Why don't we go techless first? We just got the swords masters, might as well buff them up. Yeah, on the other hand, these guys will be in combat faster, so yeah, let's do consult leaders. Alithanar. Yes, yes.
Shadow King.
And then we will take Alithanar's champions. This option will no longer be available. Oh, I'm aware. And I assume that this is a buff that'll go up here. There we go, that's one. Gotta have them all. And then we gotta wait 8 turns until the next consultation. Oh wow, that's gonna take a while. What do you buff? Wallbreaker for White Lions, Vanguard deployment. Oh wow, for Phoenix Guard. Vanguard deployment for Phoenix Guard? I did not know you had this. It kind of changes what Caradrian's army might look like, potentially, if we want to make use of that. I expected the Tyrion would just be like buffing silver helms and stuff. Interesting. You have Vanguard deployment for Silver and Guard as well, and immunity to flanking, which is great. Surprisingly, we don't have Vanguard deployment on Great Eagles, but I feel like you should, you know? If anybody should be able to Vanguard deploy, especially in a medieval sort of world, it's probably the Flyers. That's incredibly fast Flyers at that. Anyway, why is this... Okay, this better not be broken. I'm just gonna hope that next turn that these will ungray themselves, because what the heck is going on here? What is with the bug? Watch the fact that we were unable to... Well, that Aislinn was off the field for a while. Watch it screw this over. But anyway, great weapons I don't really care about. Trade resources, hardwood construction. It's not as good as what I wanted out of this. I guess maybe we could take one of these then. Trade resources, Winds of Magic for Lore of Mist spells is nice. We are using a fair few of these guys. Or do we finally start buffing up the ship's companies? You know what? Let's finally start buffing up the ship's companies. Start with, I'm going to say melee defense. Ward safe is nice as well, but they actually have to get to rank 9 in order to, you know, be useful in that. Alright, Armandus, back to everybody down here. So, ooh, Foretold is in range. Isn't that lovely? Alright, so let's level up and then let's head on in. You. Mathlann Spite, we can, I guess, increase mobility as well. We are wanting to max out Lad, or get 2 points in Ladriel's Shroud, let's get a point in Flensing Har. You, Noble. We could choose between the knowledge of man's affairs, high elf affairs, or lizardman affairs. Now, industry versus port income. I think it's only port income that is of use to us. I mean, I guess we have... Okay, wait a moment. We probably generate more money out of ports than we do out of industry. Actually, this just says income. I don't even know if it counts as industry. Alright, let's try this. Noble, we are at 9154. Let's buff up our port income. 9314. I forgot what it was. Oh, whatever. I don't know if it worked, but I'm just gonna assume it did. Anyway, Noble, back to you. You will want to grab Foe Seeker, so let's get your Blade Master into Foe Seeker. Probably could have gone for Replenished Troops, so we'll do that later. Lore Master, you need to max out Earthblood as the most critical thing here. You could grab Magical Reserves, but I think only after you get Overcast, Harmonic Convergence, and Vison's Wild Form. Armandus. Heal. Oh, we're kind of out of time. Oh, man. Kind of wanted to fight this, but I fear that we don't have enough time to do it right now. Plus, this looks like a good battle, and I want to do it justice rather than rushing through it. So I think I'm going to call the episode here then, and I'm going to double check between the episodes if there's any more silly admin to do between the before fighting and all of that. So we'll come back and that will be done. And Aislinn's back, so we will continue. We've got to move northward to stave off the... I was going to say infection. Well, Dark Elves. To beat back the invasion of the Hag Grief, and it looks like Alithanar is moving there, but as to whether he can defend it remains to be seen. Might try to get a Lord going here temporarily and just pump out a bunch of basic units to help out, though that would mean the enemy wouldn't be attacking where the walls are, which may be a problem here, but we shall see. Anyway, stay tuned for more Aislinn. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.